Creative financing. I knew that the banks were not going to finance my career. The system, or the man, whatever you want to call him or her, I knew that they were not going to say, Kris, let me loan you as much money as you want to buy as many houses as you want to do. That wasn't my calling, right? I put it on mute. That must be your mother's. Miss Jeanette. Okay, cool. See, she's going to watch our dog. We're going to Hawaii tomorrow night, so I make sure you guys are the only thing standing in front of me going to Hawaii. Okay. How are we looking on time, Kris? Good. Okay. I knew that the system, I don't know if y'all are in the same shoes as me, the system was not going to finance my real estate empire. I didn't want to have 3, 4 houses, 5, 6 houses. I wanted an empire. And that's just me. So I don't know where you are. And either way is okay. It's okay. You can have 3, 4 houses. But if you have a pen, I want you to remember this number. 7. The number 7. Please write that number down. Class. Based on the IRS, I've done the research. You can do it on your own. Based on the IRS tax returns, 7% of America own rental property. Maybe I got my accountant in here. Am I accurate or not on that? I'm giving too much. 7%, y'all. 7% of Americans own rental property. 7. That's not going to be us in this room, right? We're going to own rental property, and we're going to own a lot of it, right? It's going to finance our freedom to be able to do what we want to do. I want the same for everybody in this room. Okay, so being that I couldn't walk on that side of the fence, I said, you know what? How are we going to make it happen? I know the system wasn't going to finance my real estate career and build an empire. So I had to get into the creative financing world for me. So I'm not saying either one is right or wrong, good or bad. I had this vision. There has to be a way where I can hook up regular people to finance my real estate deals, possibly take over debt, lease options subject to owner financing, land contract, all this crazy jargon that I learned to implement and deploy to be able to buy more houses, as opposed to turning in tax returns, credit score, all that stuff. That's when I found out about the wonderful world of subject to and creative financing. What is subject to? A subject to transaction is acquiring real property. Kris, can I get some water? You guys say? Acquiring real property, the definition is right here, guys, with an existing mortgage, but not becoming personally liable for the debt. The circumstance in which a buyer takes title to a mortgaged piece of property, but is not personally liable for the payment of the amount due. The buyer must make payments in order to keep the property. However, with default, the buyer's equity in that property is lost. This is from Barron's Real Estate Guide. Now, I know you know about subject to, but have you ever done one? How many people have done one in here? Boom, go, boom in the back. Larry, good. Good, I'm happy about this. Thank you so much. So subject to, we just take over the seller's debt. Excuse me. We're doing nothing but buying a house subject to the existing mortgage or financing. You do not have to pay off the mortgage to sell to buy or sell a house. So I do a comparison here. We're talking about cars, right? Cars, we know, generally speaking, we go get a loan for a car. And what happens? You get the loan, car, the debt goes with the car. Can't transfer title. That's how financing works, generally speaking. So I want you guys to know this. If you don't get anything out of tonight, houses and money, they don't go together. Did you know that? Y'all repeat after me. Houses and money don't go together. Did you know that already? They do not go together. Did you know? I'm living proof. I had a loan with Bank of America. They called me up. Kris, they didn't even call me. They sent me a letter. Kris, we're selling your loan to Wells Fargo. Anybody that happened to? Anybody in here? Did they ask you permission to do that? No. Did they care if you didn't want them to sell it? They don't care, right? Here we go. Houses and money, they don't go together. So the owner of the note, Bank of America, can be sold to Wells Fargo, can sell to, I don't know, what's another big bank? Citibank, can sell to Regions Bank. They sell them all the time, every day. And they didn't even get, Terrence, they didn't even get your permission. Those darn banks. Yeah. Well, what if I were to tell you that you could sell the property at any time without letting the lender know? Would that be cool? Yes. Did you know that? Some of us didn't. Who said that?
Me. So the only reason I'm saying that.
We'll get to Q&A in a minute at the end. Thank you. Please, questions?
I got it.
Please, question. We're gonna do question and answer at the end. My friend, I see the wheels are moving. Houses do not go with money. It took me 3 years to implement this strategy. 3 years. I learned about it in 2007. I said, you know what? I ain't finna do all that. I am going to go to the bank and try to get my 20% down payment. It was almost like I fought it. I remember learning it, and I learned it from one of the local guys here, Tony Horner. Anybody heard of Tony Horner? Beast. So I learned him. And then Lonnie Scruggs, a lot of local guys taught me from Trig. I used to be the vice president, Trig, all that, back in the day. So now I get to teach to you guys, houses and money don't go together. So long as you can look at that, have a picture that you can approach real estate differently, as opposed to what do we usually look for when we sell a house, when we go buy a house? High equity. Is there a spread? Realtor fees, cost of the money, transaction costs. Generally, that's what we look for, right? What if I were to tell you subject to, you don't have to worry about none of that? Is that cool? Yeah. All right, this is cool. So financing for cars, the debt goes with the car, right? Sell the title, boom, boom, boom. You see the title, the lender has the lien right on the title, I believe. I've actually never got a car loan before. So with the title, selling a deed to a property is nothing but the seller signing the deed over to you. Let me repeat that. To sell a house, forget money, right? We ain't even got to the money yet. We didn't do the money. To sell a piece of property, the seller would deed the house over to the buyer. That's it. Now with these realtors, I'm not talking about you, Chris, or any other realtors in the room? One of you two guys? Not you guys. What these realtors and the real estate industry has done, they've taken houses and money and merged them so that we all think, oh man, I gotta pay this loan off. I want this loan. I owe 150. House is only worth 145. What am I going to do? Well, generally, if you talk to a realtor, and not realtor, right? Realtor. God, if I hear realtor again, I'm gonna hurt somebody. Realtor, right? Generally speaking, they can't do the deal because, now I know you sharp dude, you guys can probably make it work, but if there's not enough room to pay realtor fees, a lot of realtors walk away from the deal. But not you after today. I do not care about, I don't want to say I don't care. The main things that are important, let's look at our handout here. The main things that are important with subject to property, the main things we look for are the condition of the property, right? So we're past being able to take over the loan payments. Everybody got that? Now, creative financing, Chris asked me to speak on, I figured we could go 7 different strategies, but if we did subject to, then maybe I could pull somebody over to make it believable for them. We're gonna stay here on this one strategy today because this is my favorite way to buy a house. I bought my owner occupant house this way, and I support my family.